we are going to create a color palette, save it, make sure that we're signed into Creative Cloud, and then go over to Illustrator or any other Adobe program and import and use our color palette. This is complementary to the tutorial that I shared, let's see, right here. So this one talks about making a pie chart and using the selection tool, direct selection tool, and so on to be able to colorize different things, change font. It does a pretty good job of giving you an overview of how Illustrator works. So there's this. Make sure you watch that. That's linked on our A Day in My Life project. So you come into color.adobe.com and make sure you're signed in to your account through the school district. And just as a reminder, when you get on the computer, search for Creative Cloud. It is an app, and once you open it up, make sure you're signed in. And this gives you access to all the Adobe material. So you're signed in, your school district account, then you come to color.adobe.com, again, sign in, and you're good to go. And now we can start to mess around with colors. If you want, different color combinations, that's fine. What I was recommending, and I noticed a number of students working on, is that you can use these 5 colors and however you want to spread these things out and create your own palette. So what you do is you come over here and let's call this example, and I'm going to save this. And now it's in my library. I can use different densities of these colors. So if I want it to be lighter or darker, plus I can use black and white or grayscale. You can combine this together to have unlimited colors. But so when you're talking about your color palette, it doesn't have to be just these colors. It can be densities of these colors, lighter or darker. So have fun with that when you're messing around. By the way, these numbers are the exact color, so you can type these numbers in. A number of you have already figured that out, where you type the number in in the color box in Illustrator, and I'll show you that in just a moment. But first off, I've saved this to my library. So I'm going to go to my libraries here, and I'm going to see that I have a number of different color palettes I've created. Okay, so you can see these here. Here's an example. You can make as many color palettes as you want. You can call them whatever you want as well. Okay, once they're here, they're here. Now I'm going to go over to Illustrator, and I want you to notice that here's my color palette. Now I'm actually going to quit Illustrator, and I'm going to go in from scratch and show you the process. And so allow me to get and I'm going to create a new file, and the dimensions I can pick whatever I want. You just need the pie chart and graph. Okay, and there's this. So let me get out of here, because you probably will see it something like this. And in fact, it might even be like this. Let me close all this stuff out. So you have a simple layout. You have tools over here. For those who have not figured this out, click down here and you have more tools. So here's the pie chart tool, and you can then add that in over here and begin the pie chart tutorial. So I'm just going to delete that for now. But colors, so how do we get the color palettes and how do we use these more efficiently? Well, one, we can write down those numbers that you saw underneath each color. That is a way. But if I click on libraries and I click on my libraries, you can see my color palettes. And depending on which one I want to use, in this case I'll use example, I'm going to hold down the control key on a Mac, and it says add color swatches, add theme to swatches. I'm going to add the theme. The theme is all of those. Now check this out. If I come over here and double click on this square down here, this is the fill color. The square donut is the border color. So in the fill color, if I click on color swatches, all my colors are in here. It adds in the colors that I just added. So you have basic colors that are part of the swatches, but then you can add in other things. Now let me show you one other thing. I'm going to do an example. Let's take the best, and I'm going to add this to swatches, and I'm going to come over here again and then click on color swatches, and you'll see that they get thrown in here. So if I want to use a particular color, it's right there. And now it's there, and if I then use the selector tool or direct selector tool to add the color in, I can do that, or the eyedropper tool. So, okay, that should hopefully help how we get to our libraries. And if you don't see these things or these things aren't over here, always go to the top of the screen. And click on Window, scroll down. Now you can't see it on my recording, but the Window menu option, scroll down, and you can go down to Libraries, and that will open it up. So just other ways to navigate your process as you work through. Now, one other bonus thing here, when you create a pie chart, so again, pie chart thing's gone. So what I do is, come over here and I'll click on that tool and I'll make my area that I want for the pie chart. And again, he was going through, I'm just going to add simple numbers in and to make a point here. Again, follow the tutorial because I don't have my legend set up. I don't have information inside it. You want to follow that tutorial. But just in here, if you don't know the names of the tools, if you drag over, it will tell you what it is and kind of give you an idea of how it works. So you have selection tool, which allows you to select a whole section. And then you have the direct selection tool, which allows you to do, let's click over here. I want to make sure, okay, a certain piece. So right there, this I have selected. So if I want to colorize this, I can double click here, go to color swatches and pick maybe that color, okay? And voila. So, and again, when I make other things and I want to colorize it, if I use the eyedropper tool, I can select that color or another color. And you can see that whatever color I'm picking is changing it there. Now, the only thing is you can't use the eyedropper over here. Kind of, that's something, it seems like maybe you should be able to, but wait, you can't. So direct selection and selection tool allow you to pick just a part. The color swatches, which are you can add here, allows you to control the colors and so on and so forth. You're also learning about the text tool and some other things. So this is a complimentary tutorial to kind of summarize how colors can be imported and how to use them using the selection and direct selection tools in the pie chart. And again, once you make the pie chart, you got to kind of go with it. So pay close attention to the other tutorial on making the pie chart with your numbers accordingly to the percentages, so everything adds up properly to 100%, and the translation for your 24 hours. So blah, blah, blah. Anyway, thanks for watching.